Now, much like what we did, joined forces to take a mark up, recently, very recently, another group of individuals got together and joined forces to make to increase a mark of a certain thing, which I am not going to share right now, because we will have a Toastmaster of the day who will be revealing all this suspense and will let you know what happened. But this is something which happened on a very huge scale. It was in the news, and I think all of y'all have gone through the posters and flyers, and you know what I'm talking about. But I will hand it over to Madam President, who will again give it to the Toastmaster of the day, who will give the details as to what I'm actually talking about and who were these people and what they did and what caused this huge, what made the headlines of every newspaper and brought down some people of our, like, a nightmare for some certain people and a dream come true for others. So, with that, please allow me to call our very charming and very supportive President, Toastmaster Mridula Gupta. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anam. Can we have a round of applause, please, for Toastmaster Anam? I'm facing some connectivity issues, so please excuse me if I cannot switch on my video. I can see some known faces here, some smiling faces, some wearing hats, some wearing headphones, and I'm really happy to see them again. So good evening, everybody, and welcome to this wonderful session of Kolkata Toastmasters Club. I'm very happy to welcome all of you. Now, before we move on, I would like to say that the minutes of the previous meeting had been passed, and if the members of the House can show me a thumbs up to share whether it is passed or not, or whether they have any need, whether there is any need to make any kind of changes. You can put a thumbs up. All right, thank you, everybody. Now, starting with the theme of the meeting, I won't take a lot of your time because we have a very interesting theme which will be shared by an interesting individual. He's somebody who is very creative and always has this, always wants to improve himself. Now, before that, tell me something, everybody. Some days are difficult for you, and some of these days bring tremendous growth in your life. And it is like those days when you feel that you are going to lose it all, but suddenly you find the strength to overcome it. And that strength comes from within. And that strength is what we call the strong spirit of resilience. So, would any of you like to share something from your life which you feel touched your lives and transformed you to be a better version of yourself? Anybody? Achyut, AD, would you like to share something?
Attending with Kolkata Club.
Yes.
That changed my life because I met Naren and other wonderful people like you and everyone else, and I had conversations and I prepared myself for my transition to Kolkata eventually.
Thank you so much, Adi, for sharing this. Apart from that, we have a few guests present in the house, and I would really love to know more about you. So would you like to unmute yourself and introduce yourself? Yes, Shrubati.
Yes, hi everyone. I'm Shrubati Chatterjee. I'm joining for the first time, and let's see. I have my hopes high, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to have a good experience. Let's see what happens. And
Thank you,
to answer your
Shrubati.
previous question, I was just saying that to answer your previous question, I recently read a book, Autobiography of a Yogi. That changed. That really hit me hard, and a lot of perspectives about life has changed after that. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Shubhodip. Now we have guest Dhruvik who has raised his hand. We would like to know from where did you get to know about Toastmasters, and what is your present profession, or what do you do currently?
Hello everyone, my name is Dhruvik Seth. I have recently appeared for my CA finals exam and I'm awaiting my results. So meanwhile, uh, I've just thought that I should join Toastmasters and broaden my network at the same time, improve my speaking skills so that I would be better prepared for tomorrow. So I hope I find, like I'm looking forward to these sessions. Just trying a few clubs in and around Kolkata. Um I came to know about Toastmasters while I was at my college, St. Xavier's College, Kolkata. So during our first year, one of the representatives from Toastmasters came and he gave a speech in front of like 500 to 600 first year students. And I was really enthralled by the way he conducted himself. And he told us that it is, expressions, content, and the response of the public is very important while engaging in a conversation. So it was in the back of my mind that I would try out Toastmasters, but it took me around 3 years to finally set the ball rolling and actually try it out myself. So I'm looking forward to these sessions and I hope I make the most of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rupik, for sharing this experience of yours. So it was great knowing you, and I hope that you will learn something from this session and take back a lot of learnings. So with that, we also have guest Sathi. So guest Sathi, would you like to introduce yourself? Okay, so guest Sathi is not here. We also have guest Tanvi. Would you like to introduce yourself by unmuting yourself and maybe switching on your video?
Hi. I don't have enough internet, so I'm just going to
All right, go ahead.
so I've heard about Toastmasters since the last couple of years, and I've been wanting to join it since quite a few months, and I'm glad that I got the opportunity today. I'm an educator by profession, and I'm looking forward to joining the club, to meeting new people, and to learn how I can enhance my public speaking skills and the other qualities that are needed to be an effective public speaker. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tanvi. I hope that you overcome your fear of public speaking and try and imbibe all the learnings which you get from Toastmasters and this wonderful platform. So with that, if any other guest would like to get in touch with us, do share your introduction on the chat box. And now I would like to tell you something. As I was saying that we all have untapped inner strength that helps us to push through and conquer our challenges. And for some people, that strength comes from some people in our lives, some special people who are like a support system, our backbone. For some, it comes from a place. And for some, it is a cherished memory. And those memories have the strength to fill us with a lot of joy, a lot of happiness. So today's thought for the day is, where does your strength come from? And as a lot of people mentioned, and one of our guests also shared, that strength and growth can always come from continuous struggle and continuous effort. And today, after 3 years, I decided to become a part of Toastmasters. Similarly, the women in our lives inspire us, motivate us, our mothers. They are a fantastic role model for all of us because they inspire us and motivate us to be multitaskers and to strive forward no matter what circumstances we are in, no matter what kind of challenges we are facing, to always hold our head high and to march towards the solutions to all the challenges in our lives. She's the one who we turn to for help, for support, for motivation. She's our greatest cheerleaders and our worst critics. Don't we agree? Yes. Similarly, we also have some people in life who are very special and fill us with a lot of positivity and a lot of energy. And today we have a special session lined up for you, which will celebrate the women leaders and the women powerhouses, the superstars in KTM and beyond. So stay tuned. But before that, I would like to introduce the anchor for the evening, the MC or the Toastmaster of the day, who has come forward with a very interesting theme, which he will be talking more about. But when I want to introduce this person, he is a multi talented person. He is pursuing his engineering and balancing his pursuing his engineering and computer science. He's also balancing his graphic designing work. He's working in his managing his father's firm. He's doing everything. And the one question which I would like to ask him is, how does he manage his time so well? To the ever enthusiastic, ever smiling Toastmaster of the day, please put your hands together, Kolkata Toastmasters Club, everybody here gathered here to welcome our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Deepak Bed. Toastmaster Deepak, over to you.
Thank you so much, Madam President, Toastmaster Mridula Sen Gupta. And before I start, I want to ask you something. If you get a call and it says that your money will get doubled in 21 days, 21 दिन में पैसा double. So I want to know how many of you are really willing to put your money into such a scheme or into such a thing. I want to know in this meeting how many of you are Rajus who are willing to give your money and how many of you are Babu Bhai. एक भी risk नहीं लेगा. I won't take any risk. You can unmute yourself and tell me if you want. Okay. Looks like nobody loves money or what?
Yeah. So Deepak, Rohit this side. So
Yeah,
a few years back, I have experience in this when I was in Mumbai.
Okay.
So I was studying that time, and during the training period in that company only the scheme was going on. कि 21 दिन में पैसा डबल करके, and that scheme name was golden chain. In fact, twice or thrice I earned some money, and then that wheel got blocked, and somewhere it was no loss no profit equation, but that was a learning for life.
Okay, thank you so much, Guest Rohit. So what if I tell you that there was actually something in which if you had put your money, in 21 days, your money would not actually get doubled, okay? And can you guess how many folds your money would go if you had spent, if you had put your money into it? Not 2 times, not 4 times, okay? 8 times? No. 16 times? No. But it was actually more than 18 times in just 21 days. Is it even believable? What on earth gives you 18 times returns in just 21 days? Well, it's none other than GameStop. So what is a GameStop and what did it do to give you so high returns? Well, GameStop, if you remember back in the days when you wanted a game and you would go to the store and you would buy CDs, gaming CDs. So in India, you wouldn't see GameStop, but in US, it was a really popular store completely dedicated to gaming CDs and it was called GameStop. But now it's 2021, who buy gaming CDs, right? We all install games on our phones, on our Xbox, PlayStation, and just play it. So the company is actually dying. Okay, it's just dying. So its stocks would, like you would guess, it would be, going towards zero, right? But then something happened and it just, you can see like this is, I've shown you in the max, like from the time it started its IPO to its current date, actually not current, just a month before, and it just shot up. It just blew the roof. It just went to the moon. So what happened? And you can see that in just one day, you got 134% returns. How? Just how, right? Like really how? But don't worry. Okay, I'm here and I will tell you what actually happened as we progress in the meeting. Just imagine a computer science student explaining you about stock market. What an evening you guys are experiencing, right? So before you start anything like even investing into a stock market or giving speeches, you have to prepare yourself. You have to research, you have to know about things, and you have to also execute it. Because what's the point of preparing if you are not even going to do it? So in the first half of the meeting, we will have prepared speeches where speakers who have prepared with their mentors, they have spent weeks and weeks over their speeches, and they will come forward and give their speeches. Now, the next thing is that expect the unexpected. Now, we all know that nothing ever go as planned, right? Now you will do something and there are a million possible ways or probably more that something can go wrong. So you'll have to handle those things impromptly. Something like that also happened in GameStop Mania. And today that will also happen in the table topic session where you will be given some topic, okay, which I don't know, which you wouldn't know, only the table topic master would know that what topic he will give you or she will give you. That would be table topic session. And the third is evaluation. Okay, wait, somebody has texted me that my unexpected spelling is wrong. Well, expect the unexpected, all right? So now the third thing is evaluation. So if you ever do anything and you don't evaluate it, what's the point of even doing it? Because you will be repeating that same thing over and over again. And if you are mistaking it, you know, the whole point is worthless. So we'll have also evaluation session, which is is the backbone of Toastmasters as well, which will help you become better at communication. But if you are doing something else, also evaluate so you become better at it. But make sure that you have someone by your side who will look at what you are doing, will tell you what are the flaws, how are you going wrong, and how can you do things right. I know most of you are thinking that it would be your mentor, right? But today it's your general evaluator. I know you didn't see that coming. So with a big round of applause, please help me welcome our general evaluator for the evening, Toastmaster.
Counting, recognition and measurement. A lessee का counting क्या होता है? Lessee is defined as an entity that obtains the right.
So Toastmaster, with a big round of applause, please help us welcome Toastmaster Meghna Agarwal as general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Sir Toastmaster of the day. I'm looking forward to hearing from you how to make 18x returns. But to serve the purpose of this meeting, with me to do justice to the meeting and provide great evaluation at the end of the meeting. So without further ado, I would like to bring forth one by one my team of members who will help me evaluate the whole meeting. So starting off with the bright timer, Toastmaster Oishika Majumdar. Please come on board.
Yeah, hi. So in the stock market, one thing that is very crucial is the timing. So the timing when you're buying, the time when you're selling, the time when you're going long, the time when you're going short, everything depends on the timing. And similarly, when we are giving speeches, the timing is again very, very important. So my role as the timer is to help you keep a track of the time. How do I do that? Well, I'll be showing 3 cards, one green, one yellow, and one red. Normally, for the speakers, which is the prepared speech section, the minimum time limit is 5 minutes and the green card comes up at 5 minutes. The yellow card comes up at 6 minutes and the red card at 7, with a grace period of 30 seconds on both ends. Since we have an icebreaker speech today, the timing for the same will be 4 minutes, at which the green card will appear. Yellow card will appear at 5 minutes, and at 6 minutes, the red card will appear. Grace period again being 30 seconds on both ends. For table topics, the green card comes up at 1 minute, yellow card comes up at 1.5 minutes, and red card at 2 minutes. The grace period being 30 seconds only at the upper end. And for evaluation, the green card will appear at 2 minutes, yellow card at 2.5 minutes, and red card at 3 minutes. Grace period being 30 seconds again on both the ends. This is the green card, the yellow card, and the red card, which I'll be showing. I'll continue to show the red card until the speech gets over, but I'll not make any definite action to say that the time limit has been breached. With that, I hope you all stick to your timings, and like GameStop stocks did very well in a short span of time, you too are able to leave your mark. So all the best to the speakers. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Madam Timer, for the day. Next up, we have Toastmaster Ritika Majumdar as Grammarian.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. I'm the Grammarian for the evening. As a grammarian, my role is to keep track of people's usages and not to really uses of grammar. I will also be posting the word of the day and keeping a track on the uses. So the word of the day is equanimity, which means to maintain one's mental calmness or composure under stressful situations. So the usage could be everyone displayed great equanimity during the table topic session. Or another usage could be nothing disturbs her equanimity. So I'll be keeping a track on the usage and I'll be presenting the results and call the body. Back to you, Neville.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritika. Your audio wasn't super clear, so if you could also send the word of the day in the chat, it would help people who could not listen to check it out better. Thank you so much. Next up, we have the R counter for the day, Toastmaster Samriddhi.
Thank you, Mr. Evaluator. Greetings, everyone, and dear guests. The purpose of our counter is to note the words and sound that is used as crutch or pause fillers by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds, including and I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase, such as I, or you know, you know. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
You are inaudible. You are on mute.
Toastmaster Tanish, the parliamentarian for the day, if you could please explain your role. I'm sorry if I was having audio issues.
Good evening, everyone. This is Tanish, and today my role is to ensure that all the parliamentary norms are followed throughout the meeting. So I'll specifically request members to not use sex, religion, and politics in a derogatory manner. Show a virtual thumbs up instead of applauding when a Toastmaster uses the word of the day. Use full form of all the Toastmaster-related terms. Do not unmute yourself unless it's your turn to speak. Mute yourself again after you're done speaking. Don't write anything in the chat box while a speaker is delivering his or her speech. I'll get back with my report at the end of the meeting when called upon to do so. Thank you.
And lastly, I would like to call upon our final team member for the evaluation section, Toastmaster Akash as the wow counter. Toastmaster Akash, I don't think we can hear you. Can anybody else? Is everybody else hear?
No, Toastmaster Akash is inaudible. You are still inaudible. If you're wearing your earphones, just plug it out and try again. No. Just plug it out. Plug your earphones out.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Now we can.
There's a problem with my earphones, I guess then. Okay, never mind. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I am the war counter for the day. My job is to note down the standout moments of the meeting. Or in simple words, if I put it, the moments which we can later reminisce and cherish the moments. So I will be submitting my report when called upon to do so. Over to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akash. With that, we're done with the introduction of my team. We will be working just as hard as stock market and analysts to present a great report in the end to see how we can all improve on our next trade, which is the next meeting. Over to you, Sir Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Deepak.
Thank you so much, Mr. General Evaluator. Now, to start with how all of this started, let me explain that. So there are two kinds of people, okay? People who put their longs and people who put their shorts. So what are longs and shorts anyway? So if you are someone who first buys something, okay? Let's say that you bought a chocolate for 100 rupees and later on its price increased to, let's say, 140 rupees. And so you sold it at 140. So your profit is now 40 rupees. You gain 40 rupees. But now if the price of that chocolate gets drops down to 60 rupees, so now you are in a loss of 40 rupees, right? But what is shorts? Now to explain shorts, I will need a few volunteers who will be willing to participate. I need two volunteers. And I would request one to be the big shot guy of this meeting, Toastmaster Devarshi. Are you here? And guest Dhruvik, would you like to participate? Okay.
Yeah, sure, Deepak.
Okay, so Rohit and the other one is Dhruv. Guest Dhruv.
This side.
Right. Okay. So like I said, that in longs, you first buy and then you sell. Now in short, let's say that Rohit already hold some stock. Okay. He holds some stock of a chocolate and that is priced at 100 rupees. Okay. And Dhruv here thinks that, what do you think? The price will drop or rise? Let's say that you think that the prices will drop. So what he will do is he will go and ask Rohit to lend him some shares of those chocolates. Okay. So now Rohit agrees that, okay, take them and return me in few days. So Dhruv takes it and goes to the market and he sells those chocolates at 100 rupees at the market price. Now, okay, so in this role play, I'll playing the market. Okay, I'll decide the price now. So let's say that the price drops to 80 rupees. Dhruv, could you sell it now?
The price drops to?
Sorry, buy it again.
The price?
So you sold the chocolates first at 100 rupees. and now the prices dropped to 80 rupees. Would you sell it now, buy it now?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so Dhruv is very generous and very humble, and he would buy at 80 rupees now. And if he buys at 80 rupees, he will he will buy that at 80 rupees and give those chocolates back to Rohit. Okay, so he sold at 100 and bought at 80. So he took home 20 rupees. But instead, if the prices went above, okay, if it went to 120, so what would Rohit do? Sorry, what would Dhruvik do? What would you do, Dhruvik?
I would have to pay it out of my pocket then.
Okay, so Dhruv
for a week.
So Dhruv don't want to wait and don't want to suffer more losses. He would just buy it at whatever price it is now, that is 120, and he will have to give it back to Rohit, and he will suffer a loss of 20 rupees. But just imagine that Dhruv is now greedier, okay, and he knows that those chocolates are just worthless and it will just drop down to 0 rupees. He wants to make 100 rupees on those chocolates, right? So this is what actually had happened in the GameStop, that on one side, there were these YOLO groups of retail investors who had put all of their money into the GameStops. And on the other side, there were these hedge fund managers who thought that this company would go broke and they don't have to pay anything. So they just short 140% shares, which was like the more shares that were existing in the market, more shares that like 40% more. So now there was this one person who saw this opportunity. And so he went on into the Reddit group where there were these YOLO investors or retail investors who were willing to put all their money down onto that particular stock. So they bought all the stocks, and that what created a huge problem. So who was that first person who did that? Well, it turns out that the first person who saw it was like, "Iska game bajana padega." I want to just not piche. Sorry, I told you expect the unexpected. So that guy was some guy in a bandana who made hedge funds bleed about $5 billion in just first month of January. So he goes by the name Roaring Kitty. Now, in our first speech, this first speaker, the Roaring Kitty of tonight, will be giving her first speech. And before I call our Roaring Kitty, I would like to call her evaluator, Toastmaster Achut Todi.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, everyone. Our first speaker, our only speaker delivering the prepared speech in today's evening is delivering her first project from the path of innovative planning. Her first project is an icebreaker, which is typically what all Toastmaster first projects are. And the timing for this speech is 4 to 6 minutes. Now, the objective of this speech is for the member to introduce herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. It is also to identify any public speaking skills they may have so that they can hone it further. And I wish best of luck to the speaker. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, evaluator. So our first speaker is giving her first speech, and that is none other than Toastmaster Shrubati Agarwal with her speech title, Pick Your Batters, and is mentored by Toastmaster Mridula Sengupta. Give it a round of applause for Toastmaster Shrubati Agarwal.
How many of you dream of traveling in a train and meeting your soulmate in an unknown city? How many of you believe that Raj in your life is waiting to win over your strict parents? Well, to all those who love to sit with some tea and popcorn on a rainy Sunday evening enjoying rom-coms, I am in your team. From DDLG to Kuch Kuch Hota Hai to Notebook, Such romantic movies inspire me to believe that life is a continuous battle. It doesn't matter how many battles you have won or lost. What really matters is how you fought, learned, and survived. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guest. I was born in a typical Marwari joint family where around 25 people would live under the same roof. As you can guess, my weekends were filled with plans with two in-house cricket teams. My father is a diligent and hardworking businessman, and my mother a devoted housewife. Both of them run a company named FGB, Finding Groom Business. Being the second of three sisters gave me the opportunity to scold the younger sibling as well as get scolded by the elder one while still being the favorite of both. The three of us consider ourselves fortunate for such lovely parents. But is it true vice versa? Last time I checked, no. In my graduation days, I was confused about my true calling and lacked focus and direction towards my purpose in life. Peer pressure induced me into choosing masters in finance with no particular affinity towards commerce. 2 years into the drill made me realize that life is a continuous battle and the only thing that really matters is how you fought, learned, and survived. This made me choose my profession that not only fills my heart with joy every time I wake up to it. I chose art because I love colors, designing leaves me contented. Today, I chose to follow my passion that made me a freelance illustrator and happy. Let me share an incident from my college life. I joined mountaineering camp in my college days to face the fear of acrophobia through rappelling. It is a sort of adventurous activity where we need to come down from a certain height with the help of a rope. It is a game of trust and coordination of movements with your partner. During a training session, my partner was wearing a proper harness and I was tied only to a rope while she was carrying my weight. At first, I was quite reluctant to go because looking down would make my heart skip a bit. But I mustered all my courage and decided to go along with her. When we were coming down slow and steady, her feet touched a soft rock. She couldn't get a grip of it, and her movement suddenly got disbalanced. She dropped me. Even though I was tied to a rope and all the precautionary measures were taken care of, I had two options: to let go or to trust my partner. And I chose the latter. So here I am getting goosebumps while telling you about that incident which taught me a battle is not lost till it is over. If that was not enough of an adventure, my life made me flip over on 14th of August 2018. I was diagnosed with a chronic disease. Ladies and gentlemen, we often realize the true value of something when we are on the verge of losing it. I started valuing my life, picked up my lost hobby of sketching, and started enjoying the process. With some guidance and mentorship, I chose to fight my own battles and decided to pursue something which I really love. I took one of the best decisions when I decided to face my second fear, glossophobia, which was limiting me from expressing myself freely. Little did I know that Friday evening in 2016 would change my life. Friends, here we are. I'm sharing my journey with you all today to talk about that how I face my fear. Today, I talked about that those two fears really taught me that We all can turn the table on our side and choose to fight it. Not knowing our purpose immediately is okay. Sometimes we need to look around ourselves and find out what excites us. For me, it was designing. Find out what defines you. What matters is the present moment and to live our life without any regrets. What do you think, Master of Ceremonies?
So thank you so much, Toastmaster Meghna Agarwal. That was a wonderful speech. And now, moving on, like you saw what happened, and whatever happened during those few days, nobody was expecting. The hedge funds did not expect that everybody will start buying the shares. Now, because everybody started buying the shares and there were no shares left in the market, that demand shot the price up. But those hedge fund managers had already shorted those shares, and since it had got more than like double and triple, so now they have to pay, these like large amount, and that made Melvin Capital and some other hedge funds nearly bankrupt. So now this was like really unexpected. So what did the hedge funds managers do? What they did was called short ladder attack. They started trading those few shares which they had between the other hedge fund managers at a really low price. And that made those trading algorithms think that since the prices are being traded at really low prices, well, the prices should drop down. And so there was a war between those Redditors and hedge fund managers. The Redditors were trying to keep the numbers high, and the hedge fund managers were trying to keep the numbers low because they have to pay billions each day. Now, similarly, our next session will help you think on your feet when you appear in those situations where you have to make moves. Otherwise, you will be losing a lot and a lot. And to help you gain those skills, we have somebody called the Table Topic Master. So with a big round of applause, please help me welcome our Table Topic Master for the evening, Toastmaster Arvan Datta.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, and everyone present in the room. My name is Anirban, and today I'll be your Table Topics Master. Table Topics is basically the most interesting part of a Toastmaster session. It is basically an impromptu session. I have a couple of topics. I have decided a couple of topics beforehand, and now I'll ask you to volunteer, or I just can pick any of you and I can give you a topic and you have to speak about it. The rules are very simple. Okay, I already see a raised hand. Abhishek Mohta has raised hand. Okay, sir, you will be going first. But before that, let me explain the rules. The timing is 1 to 2 minutes. So to be able to be eligible in voting, you have to speak a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes and 30 seconds because there is a grace period of 30 seconds on only the upper side. You are not allowed to speak about sex, religion, or politics in a derogatory manner. So please keep that in mind. Guests have the privilege to change the topic once, but Toastmasters do not have the privilege. So without a further ado, let's quickly get started with our first table topics. I have seen Abhishek raised his hand. So are you a Toastmaster or a guest? I cannot see him.
I'm a
Can you
guest.
please turn on your video? Your video is not. Yes, you're perfectly visible now.
I'm a
I'll
guest.
Okay, guest Abhishek, please keep in mind that I'll only be repeating the topic twice, so please pay close attention to it. Guest Abhishek, time is money. Time is money, guest Abhishek.
Something which we always think about, what is that which we are missing? It is always that we are running after money. But the problem is if we whether we are actually running after the correct thing, whether money gives us happiness, whether money is what we actually want. I don't think so. Because I have been running after money for last 10 years, being after qualification of being a chartered accountant. But then I saw, or I felt that money is not giving me happiness. So now what I was thinking about last 2 years, 3 years, that what is actually which will give me happiness? It is the time which I spend with my family. So it is what actually we need. That is the time. If we can earn time from to spend time with my family, that is something where I can be the most happy person. I'll share one topic or one incidence of my life. Last year, when we had this COVID and we were all locked down with our families, that was the most interesting time which I spent with my family, and the longest time which I have spent with my family. Therein, I got opportunity of celebrating my kids' birthdays, both of my kids' birthdays during this lockdown, and I baked a cake for them. It took me 2 hours, but those 2 hours was worth it because the expression of happiness which they had, I thought, yes, man, I have earned something. And it is not the money which I earn, but the time. So if we earn time, a good quality time with our family, I think it will be worth more than the money which we are running after. Thank you, and back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you so much, guest Abhishek, for having a such wonderful take on this topic. I guess this is your second time in taking part in table topics.
No, this is the fourth.
This is the fourth. Okay, okay. Even being a guest, you're coming every week and taking part in table topics. I really want to appreciate the fact that please keep coming again and again and again. You are already good, and you will just get better. So thank you so much for taking part. Can we quickly move on to the our next volunteer? Can I see a raise of hands, ladies and gentlemen? I see two people raised hand. I see Shrubati Chatterjee. Sir, are you a guest or are you a Toastmaster?
I'm a guest, and this is my first time appearing.
Okay, Shubhadeep, your audio is
Hello.
laggy. Can you please take care of it? Your audio is really laggy.
Is it clear now?
Not really. It is still lagging a lot. I think you have some network issues. It's fine. I think we can come back to you. You try to maybe reset your network or something. We will surely come back to you. Can we have another volunteer? Can we have a Toastmaster? Where are the Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen? I see all of the guests raising hands and the Toastmasters are shying away. Toastmasters. I don't see a single raise of hands from Toastmasters.
Yeah.
Ishan, sir, are you a Toastmaster?
I'm a guest actually.
You are a guest. Yes. Okay. Ishan, okay. A penny saved is a penny earned. A penny saved is a penny earned. Guest Ishan.
May I know what the word of the day is, Anirban?
Sorry?
May I know what the word of the day is? The word of the day.
It is shared on chat, I guess. Can anyone please copy paste it? I have actually rejoined, so I cannot see the previous chats.
It's equanimity.
Sorry?
It's equanimity. I'll paste it again in the chat.
Okay, equanimity. Okay, calmness. Right. May I know the topic again, Anirban? Can you repeat the topic again?
Yes, the topic is a penny saved is a penny earned.
Right. So, very relevant and very germane topic, I would say. Penny saved is a penny earned, because every day, every person nowadays, they're trying to save as much as they can, because be it for a 401k, be it for their own personal vehicle which they want to buy, a kind of a luxury vehicle which they want to buy, which kind of a luxury home which they want to buy in the future, something which they want to settle with their family. A penny saved is actually a penny earned, because you don't want to kind of frivolously spend something on if you don't want to spend something very frivolously, or something very luxuriously on something, or you don't want to kind of splurge on something which you would regret later on, rather on a rainy day. So that's something which you don't want to do. So to kind of save for these contingencies in the future, to kind of save for these families which you actually plan on having and actually want to grow on, you actually want to save right from your time, right from the time that you are in college, right from the time that you are in school, so that every penny that you actually save is actually going to be invested in the bank, and it actually is going to give you a hefty sum of return in the future, and something which is going to actually grow your career. Because ultimately people over here nowadays especially, they kind of make careers out of investments in banks, and it's actually a very lucrative career as well in their future. So I would say that a penny saved is a penny earned is a very, very germane and relevant topic for all the millennials and all the youth out there. And it's something which we need to really take into account these days. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guest Ishan, for having such wonderful take on the topic. And yes, I totally agree that a penny saved is a penny earned, because that saved money is gonna be useful to you someday. I saw Vandana ma'am raising her hand. Vandana ma'am, yes. Can you please unmute yourself? Yes. All right. Toastmaster Vandana, money can't buy you happiness. Money can't buy you happiness. Toastmaster Vandana.
Happiness. Happiness does not come from money or from materialistic things, because happiness is not something that you own. Happiness is something which comes from inside. If you like something, a flower in a garden can make you happy. You can be very happy seeing a little child just shouting and crying or making faces. So you don't have to pay for that. Of course, there are times when you have to spend money, and when you go out and that makes you happy, that's a different thing altogether. Of course it does, but it is not only thing that can make you happy, because happiness, people are not dependent upon things that you buy or things that you own. Happiness depends upon your state of mind, your state of heart, how much you like people, how much you appreciate things around you. And appreciation does not come from money. There are times when you have a lot of money and you're sitting in your BMW and you're going to a psychiatrist. What does that mean? That means that you are very unhappy. You are a very sad person sitting in such a huge car, such an expensive car. So yes, I totally agree to the whole thing that happiness cannot be bought by money. Happiness is a state of mind, and you have to know what makes you happy. And it necessarily does not mean that it comes in only the inexpensive things. Of course, there are times when you spend, and shopping is a therapy also at times. Yes, but then only money cannot buy you happiness. There are your family, your friends, your loved ones, somebody calling you so cute, beautifully, Vandana ma'am, yes, you are there, and a smile on his face, Anirban's face, that made me happy. So I think, yes, I totally agree to you, Anirban. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vandana ma'am. It was such wonderful to hearing you speak. Please keep coming back to the meetings again and again. All right. I had guest Anusha. I guess guest Anusha has been raising her hand for a couple of.
Yeah, I could go.
Yes, absolutely, ma'am. Are you a Toastmaster or are you a guest?
I'm a Toastmaster.
You are a Toastmaster. Can we please have your video on? I cannot see your video.
My bandwidth is less today, Anirban. My bandwidth is going on and off.
Okay, I guess it's fine. No problem. All right, Toastmaster Anusha. Add value to your own life first. Add value to your own life first, Toastmaster Anusha.
Those who live in glass houses shouldn't. Well, have I not heard the topic? Well, I did hear the topic, but I thought of a phrase which went exactly parallel to what you said. Add value to your life before you start peeping into other people's houses and trying to set them up in order. Now, why should I add value to my life? There are so many reasons which come, to one's mind. One, of course, is one's life is made to enhance it to self-actualization, to be the best one can possibly be. That is one reason I need to add value to my life. Now, for example, I want to teach my little child who is a year old or 2 years old the value of being clean. if I don't have that facility in my own life, do you think I can teach that to my little kid who's 2 years old? Definitely not. So I have to first look into my own girban, as they say in Hindi. I have to look into my own insights, get value into them, and then pass them on to somebody else who I want to pass them on to. Another very interesting thing in learning to value and add value to your own life is to understand that there is only one life you're going to be leading. And in that one life, if you lead it like a plateau, you lead it like a static heartbeat, then you haven't achieved much. But in that one life, if you are able to enhance whatever you are doing, you're able to make yourself more productive, you're able to give yourself a better version of yourself, that is something which will add happiness to you. That is something which will add grace to you. That is something which will add value to you. So, value to yourself is value for life eternal. Back to the table topics master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anusha, for having such a wonderful take on the topic. You were fluent. It was wonderful. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen, for the table topics session today. I know we only had 4 topics, but there is a reason. The reason is that up next we are having a very, very, very special session. What it is, who will conduct it, you will get to know very shortly. But all of the guests or the Toastmasters who had raised hand today, do not get discouraged. Please do come and join our meeting next week and raise your hands there, because if you are someone whose heart starts tumbling when you hear the word impromptu speaking, this table topic session is for you, because trust me when I say this, that there is only one and only one way to get better at impromptu speaking. It is by speaking impromptu again and again and again and again and again. So with that note, I would like to end today's table topic session and hand the session over back to our wonderful Toastmaster of the day, who was teaching us all about stocks and how to make money. He's a very dynamic guy. So if you do not understand some parts that he's teaching today, please do reach out to him over WhatsApp or call. He's always available to teach all of us about money and all of the things. So over to you, Toastmaster Deepak Vaid.
Sure, thank you so much. Just in case you don't know, Alvan is a really close friend of mine and I share with him nearly everything. So if I am unreachable, you can call him as well. Okay. And so now that you know that the whole frenzy, how the prices shot up really high, but we all know whatever goes high, it comes down as well. So of course it went down, and after that, an investigation was opened, and there was a Congress hearing in which the CEOs of Reddit, different hedge fund managers, and the roaring kitty, they have to come and speak on what actually had happened. And the roaring kitty was asked, why did you choose this stock, and why did you do this? And he just said that I like the stock. And that made everybody go crazy, because some guy in a room wearing a bandana liked the stock, and that made nearly 2-3 hedge funds go bankrupt. That made them a loss of more than $5 billion in just a few days. What is this? So, you know that an evaluation had to be done. An investigation was followed. They were called, and things happened. Similarly, in Toastmasters, we have general evaluation session in which whatever things had happened, whatever you have spoken, it came to stage, you spoke, and that need to be evaluated because you want to do things better next time. So to help us with that, I would like to call our general evaluator for the evening, Toastmaster Meghna Agarwal.
Hey Deepak.
Hi, and before we move on to actual general evaluation, since we have Women's Day coming up very soon, we have something planned for women, and Toastmaster Naren will present it to you. Over to you, Naren.
So folks, oftentimes people ask me, Naren, would you prefer you or other people going to co-ed schools or schools that have specifically for guys and for girls. And I say always that I prefer co-ed schools. And not because I want to date women and that's the way to meet women, but the reason being, I think I learned so much in the classroom just by being with women, their perspectives on geography, philosophy, theology, whatever studies that we partook in, even mathematics. When you have a woman classmate, you learn so much. And similarly, I'm so lucky we have so many bright young females in Toastmasters who I get to learn from through their speeches and their view of the world and their take on things. And just for that, we have something small from the club, and I'm just the presenter here for all the lovely women members of our club as part of Women's Day celebration. So Toastmaster Deepak, if you could help me commemorate, congratulate all the lovely women members that we have in the club through the presentation the club has prepared. So one by one, we'll be talking about the women member as a spotlight, and I'll just read out what's being said about them from the club. So first up, Toastmaster Ritika Majumdar, a lady who when smiles, her face oozes an aura of simplicity. She is calm as a cucumber and sharp as a pin. One round of applause for Toastmaster Ritika. Thank you so much for being part of Kolkata Toastmasters Club. Next up, we have Toastmaster Udisha Madnani. Unique in her own way, a dynamic personality indeed. She is Miss Perfectionist in her very own way. Thank you, Toastmaster Udisha, for being part of Kolkata Toastmasters. Toastmaster Rashmi Agarwal. She is beauty personified, more elegant than the word elegant itself. Talk about grace and poise, and you cannot but discuss about her. Just the way she was so graceful and poised in her speech today. You guys should check out her Instagram page. She doodles fantastically well. Her sketching is awesome. Thank you for being part of Kolkata Toastmasters Club. Toastmaster Meghna Agarwal, a lady who is very expressive. Her quest to better herself every day is apparent from the way she strives to learn new things. Thank you, Toastmaster Meghna, for being part of this Kolkata Toastmasters Club. Toastmaster Sohini Das. She is an artist, someone who paints life as she sees it. She's ambitious and carries a charm that differentiates her from the flock. Thank you, Toastmaster Sohini, for making our club more wonderful. Toastmaster Archita Tiwari, distinguished Toastmaster Archita Tiwari. Determined and persistent, she has a core of steel in a ball of fun, all rolled into one. With a passion for communication and resolute vision, she is perfect embodiment of making a goal out of a dream. Thank you so much, former president and dear friend, Toastmaster Archita Tiwari.
Thank you, Naren. This is beautiful. Thank you, the team of Kolkata Toastmasters Club.
Deepak, can we have the next slide, please? Current president, Toastmaster Mridula Sengupta, a sweet, humble, and polite lady who is soft-spoken and always takes care and loves people around her. Thank you, Toastmaster Mridula, for being the president for this term and serving the club and also being part of this club and making it so wonderful. Thank you so much. Toastmaster Anisha Agarwal, creative and insightful. She is the one ready to go the extra mile for friends, family, and her professional commitments. She exudes empathy and positivity while having a unique ability to find humor in any situation. Toastmaster Anisha, thank you so much from Kolkata Toastmasters Club to you for being part of our club. Toastmaster Anam Rahman, a girl with supernatural dose of energy and enthusiasm. She is a charming person with a beautiful smile. Thank you, Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Anam Rahman.
Thank you so much.
I'm sorry your spelling is wrong on the slide. I notice it.
Yeah.
We'll fix it.
No problem.
Toastmaster Komal Chararia, a charming woman who doesn't follow the herd, an imaginative soul who inspires us with her positive energy, kindness, and enthusiasm in everything she puts her heart into. Toastmaster Komal, thank you for being part of this club, bringing your sense of humor to the club. Toastmaster Shreya Goswami Ray, another past president, a perfectionist organizer with great professional discipline. She is a loving mother and a caring friend. You know she's a loving mother when you see her daughter's profile picture on her Zoom account. Thank you, Toastmaster Shreya Goswami, for being such a wonderful member and serving us in the club. Toastmaster Vandana Agarwala, a super talented woman who is a fantastic multitasker. She motivates and inspires people around her to do their best and always strives for perfection in whatever she does. I was so surprised when I found out that she was the mom of my senior in school. She doesn't even look that age. I don't know how she carries it, but she's somebody we can definitely learn so much from. An old timer in the club. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vandana.
Thank you so much, Naren, and thank you for telling my age.
I didn't say any numbers here. Toastmaster Anju Goriwal, a dynamic lady with a gorgeous smile and a rocking personality. She is strong and determined, and her sense of fashion is impeccable. She is a loving soul and has a golden heart. Thank you, Toastmaster Anju, for being part of Kolkata Toastmasters Club.
Thank you so much.
Please go ahead.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you from KTM to you. Toastmaster Kirti Sethia, a fun-loving lady who is enthusiastic about learning and self-development. She brightens the room with her presence and is always there when you need a friend. Thank you, Toastmaster Kirti. You were there even when I was participating in the debate, and you helped us so much and helped Kolkata Toastmasters win a competition that we did during the lockdown. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kirti. Toastmaster Ruchira Prasad, a lady with a passionate heart and a desire to make a difference in the lives of those around her. She does everything with 100% dedication and commitment and is someone you can always count on. That's how women are. You can always count on them. Men, you can't always count on them. Thank you, Toastmaster Ruchira. Toastmaster Deepak, if we could have the next slide, please. Toastmaster Purvita Datta. She's a mix of style and substance with a twist of fun and a dash of cool. Be it bonding over some memes or discussing about the latest inventions. Trust her to inspire you to be your most rational and uninhibited self. Thank you, Toastmaster Purvita Datta, for being part of Kolkata Toastmasters. And last but not the least, Toastmaster Oishika Ghosh Majumdar, a girl who is strong-willed and sweet. Her simple and innocent nature will win your heart, and her work ethic and execution will blow your mind. Note the last lines. I'm sure you will notice that as you see her in the meetings. Thank you, Toastmaster Oishika, for being part of Kolkata Toastmasters Club.
Thank you so much.
So that was a little bit of a presentation from Kolkata Toastmasters Club to all the wonderful ladies and the women that we have in the club. A happy Women's Day in advance to all of you. Would anybody like to share anything quickly?
Yep, I think on behalf of all of us, I mean, I'm sure others can go ahead as well, but I was so touched with the entire effort that is put in. I would really like to thank the entire executive committee, especially the VP Ed and the VP PR team. I think they've put in the maximum amount of effort in this. So, Rohit, Anirban, this was wonderful and lovely. Thank you so much for putting in the entire effort of collaborating messages, coming up with this wonderful design. I'm sure troubling Naren to go ahead and speak all of this. So thank you so much. And most importantly, I would like to say this is a beautiful gesture. None of us expected it because we are online. And thank you, Naren. You read it out beautifully with so much of feeling. And it's glad to know that you love all of us equally. Thank you.
Thank you, DT and Varshita. Would anybody else like to share something quickly before we move on to the normal meeting as scheduled?
Yeah, if I can go ahead. Uh, so, like, I am really touched. I'm like a pretty newbie to the team, and having such wonderful rewards written for me shows that there's so much of effort and research done behind this. I'm really touched with the gesture. Thank you so much,
Thank,
Kolkata.
thank you, Toastmaster Ritika. Appreciate your sharing. Thank you, Toastmaster Vandana. Your comment. Thank you so much. Once again, happy Women's Day to all of y'all in advance. Thanks for teaching us so well. And I think Kolkata Toastmasters functions so well only because we have the women that we have in the club. I don't think guys are as efficient and can run the club so properly in an organized manner for these number of meetings. So thank you once again. And lastly, I am just the messenger here. The whole effort has been put from behind, from the back end, from the other members of the club, Toastmaster Rohit, etc. So I'm just the messenger here. This is from the whole club to you all. Fantastic. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. And please guide us in moving forward with the meeting.
Yes, right. So now we will move forward to our general evaluation, which will be carried by none other than, again, Toastmaster Nareen Agarwal. So with that, a big round of applause. Please help us welcome Toastmaster Nareen Agarwal to give us some helpful tips to become a better communicator. And for stock market tips, we have two people, the big short guy, Toastmaster Deoshi Pradhan, and the big bull, Toastmaster Rahul Maheshwari, who is not here. And I'm the one who's adding big names to their big word to their names. So with that, please again help me welcome Toastmaster Nareen Agarwal.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. I just did that switch real quick so that I could get another round of applause to come back on stage and look fancy. Just kidding. Moving on with the general evaluation section. First up, I would like to call the evaluator for the first and only prepared speech for the day. Mr. Evaluator Achyut Todi, could you please give your evaluation for Toastmaster Rashmi's speech?
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Good evening, everyone, and especially Toastmaster Rashmi. Congratulations in taking your first step. Lao Tzu, a Chinese philosopher, said, "A journey of 1,000 miles begin with one step." Now, this is a cliche quote, and being Toastmasters, all of us are pseudo-philosophers. Toastmaster Rashmi, your first step was at least 3.5% of your first path, which is 15 speeches and about 17,000 words. But a communication journey is not just a path, and you've taken a strong, powerful step towards your journey, which will encompass a lot more. Here is my view on the trailer which you showed to us today evening. First up, I think what you did brilliantly well in your speech was talk about deliver moving stories. This was something which evoked goosebumps, not just for you as an experience, who experienced it firsthand, but for me as the audience as well. These were really powerful stories, and it touched my heart through it. Almost that it threw me off track as an evaluator from other aspects of his speech. The second part, which was amazingly done, was the messages that you had shared. Now, this is something which is typically not expected in an icebreaker speech because that's supposed to be just about yourself. And one thing which, as speakers, we often find it difficult to do is answer the question, what's in it for the audience? You did that brilliantly well. And the third aspect, which I think you did very well again, was maintaining good eye contact throughout the speech, which displayed a lot of confidence. And there was a certain amount of poise in your stance which you had taken through the speech. Your speech was also structured very well, where you, through the opening, you displayed a sense of vulnerability. You added substance through your stories and then delivered learning to the audience. This was a very well prepared speech. Now, being a Toastmaster yourself, especially for round 2, you also know that learning is something all of us sign up for. Here are bits of how you could do better. First, I know this is your second stint and I know a little bit about you, so I could stitch together the bits you had explained. But I believe your speech today lacked a little coherence. You could either follow some chronology or some learning and build through the battles which you went through in life. The second one was you've come back to Toastmasters, and this is something which I've done myself. But why did you do so? Sharing some context with others would, especially your club members, would help build a stronger connect. And the third thing was you had a very good gesture, which was in conjunction to your theme. And you also had important messages. But slowing down by using pauses could help the audience absorb it as well as you wanted to communicate it. On the whole, this was a brilliant speech which had displayed a good amount of equanimity and a lot of promise. You also evoked emotion amongst the speakers. And I think the best part about the speech was this was not about yourself. And this left us inspired as we have a lot of learnings which we can take from your hard fought battles. Best of luck, Toastmaster Rashmi, and hope to see you crushing it on the stage again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Evaluator Achit, for the wonderful evaluation. Toastmaster Rashmi, I was pleasantly surprised for your icebreaker speech. The beginning of your content especially had humor. It's tough to be humorous in your first speech, but you had great moments of humor, and you were funny talking about your parents running a company, and you being the middle sibling, and you getting the opportunity to scold yet being scolded. A job well done for an icebreaker speech. I think it's tough to be humorous and funny. Just one quick body language tip that I would say that could probably benefit you. When you were speaking, this was a gesture that you were comfortable with, but this closes you off. It closes the energy off and closes you off from the audience. So if you could just make this clasping of the interlocking of the fingers, just bring it out here, or even do a little bit of this, it leaves you open and it gives you the chance to open up more freely if your hands need to move instead of clasping it up. But a job well done, a great speech. Thank you, Toastmaster Rashmi, and a big round of applause from my side on beginning the journey of speaking. A great icebreaker speech. Thank you. Next up, I will quickly talk about the table topics master of the day. The table topics master of the day. But before that, I would get into a little bit about the people who spoke in table topics. So first up was guest Abhishek with the topic "Time is Money." Guest Abhishek, great job. You raised your hand even when the role was being explained. Being a guest, it's not as frequent, and you requires a level of confidence to come up and speak, and you spoke for the whole time. So great job, guest Abhishek. Then the second guest was guest Ishan, if I'm not wrong, and you spoke. The only recommendation I have for you is that just keep your eyes and ears open when the table topics is being spoken, so that you don't have to repeat the word of the day and the table topics of the day once again. But a job well done as a guest. You spoke for the first time and you spoke through. So great job. Toastmaster Vandana, you had a great take on happiness. What I loved about your speech is whenever you got the topic, as soon as you got the topic, money can't buy you happiness, you started with happiness and you started with great poise, which already sets the tone for the listener, and it shows that you're not nervous. So great job, Toastmaster Vandana. And Toastmaster Anusha, unfortunately we couldn't see on video, but add value to your life first. I totally agreed with what you said. And what's wonderful about you is whenever you speak in table topics, I know you typically try to come fourth. I've noticed that. And you almost speak like it's a prepared speech because you have such a flow and tune while you're speaking. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Anusha, for participating. Coming to the role players of the day, Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Anam. Toastmaster Anam, you were right on time. What I liked is also you helped Samriddhi let her know about her audio issue so that she could get it fixed during the meeting. Just a quick thing is today when you were speaking, in some moments it felt like you were stopping, it wasn't flowing. Maybe you didn't practice what you were going to say because it was a little more dynamic today. So maybe we could work on those pauses a little bit during the beginning of the meeting so that it flows faster. Madam President, Toastmaster Mridula, it was great to hear you speak. You invited Deepak with great enthusiasm. I know it's tough for the president always to come up with something new, but you did. It would be awesome if you could turn your video on, I think, because it'll help you connect with the club. That's just a quick feedback from my side. Table Topics Master, Toastmaster Anirban Datta. Anirban, you were fantastic. What I loved is you kept all the topics very consistent with the theme of the day. So it seemed like the whole meeting was in a flow, and it was in synchronicity. The topics were money is cannot bring you happiness, time is money, etc. So it was all related to money and stock market. Coming to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Deepak Bed. Deepak, big congratulations to you. I think you took on a big challenge because explaining what happened in GameStop in a Toastmasters meeting in the sections in the middle is a big challenge. Trust me. And big congratulations to you for taking that bold step to do so, because it was such an interesting event that happened. Um, Another thing that I think you did fantastically well, Deepak, is you used presentations very wonderfully. Even the Canva presentation that you made for the Women's Day was so wonderfully done. And the presentations that you had made before, you used it with great power. I think the benefit of Zoom, you're definitely making use of it as to a table Toastmaster of the day. One quick thing is that you spelled unexpected wrong, and I don't know if that was intentional. But if it was intentional or not, you definitely pulled it off as a joke, because if someone commented on the chat, you said, yeah, expect the unexpected. So that was a good play of words, and that was a good joke. Lastly, Deepak, the topic that you picked was a little challenging to explain. So from the next time, maybe if you could work on simplifying the topic a little more or picking a different topic, because I think some people might not have registered the whole thing since it is a technical topic and a tough topic to explain. But all in all, great challenge taken and job well done. So thank you so much, Deepak. Now I would like to call upon all the role players of the day to present their report, starting with the timer, Toastmaster Oishika.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Well, yeah, so this is the report. Everyone is qualified and everyone has been in time. So kudos to you. Everyone is eligible for voting.
Wow. Superb. Thank you, Toastmaster Oishika, for that one-stop shop report. Moving on to the grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Ritika.
Um, sure, General Evaluator. I would be sharing my screen. So the word of the day was used once by Toastmaster Archie Todi. And the good usages of grammar, what I felt was using the word enthralled, mustered all my courage, a battle is not lost till it is not over, and also using the phrase, those who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones at others. I felt these were the good usages of grammar. Not so good usages would be, first point is highlighting the spelling mistake. So if we can consider that. And second was what I felt in a statement was made saying that some hedge funds nearly bankrupt. So instead of saying that, we should say funds got nearly bankrupt. And another last point would be that please keep coming again and again. Instead of repeating a word, it's better to use a single word in place of it. So please keep coming frequently. Thank you. Thank you from my side. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you. Could I please have Toastmaster Samriddhi as the R counter for the day?
Thank you. The report of the R counter for the day is a surgery terms Toastmaster Annam used the word once. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Deepak Bed used once and repeated the word short once. President Mridula Sengupta was flawless. General Evaluator Meghna Agarwal used once. Speaker Rashmi Agarwal used twice and twice. Evaluator Toastmaster Achyut Todi used twice. Table topic master Anirban Datta repeated the word repeat twice. Guest Abhishek used once and once. Guest Ishan used twice. Toastmaster Vandana was flawless. Toastmaster Anushwa said once. That's all for today. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator. on mute.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Samriddhi, for the report and also letting me know that I was on mute. Toastmaster Deoshri, if you could please present the parliamentarians report.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Throughout the meeting, all the parliamentary norms were followed. Over to you, to the general evaluators. Thank you.
That was quick. Thanks. Last role player for the day, Toastmaster Akash as the wow counter. Could you please present your report?
Can someone confirm my audio is, if I'm audible?
Yeah, much better.
Okay, sure. I shall be sharing my report. I felt there were 3 wow moments in the day. Being a huge Fir Hera Fairy fan, I thought that the template shared by TM Rahul Baid were 1 wow moments, there are 2 ones that 21 din mein paisa double and tera to game bajana padega. The second was Toastmaster Oishika's wonderful elucidation of her role for the day. Kudos to you, Toastmaster Oishika. You did a wonderful job with the presentation and all, and it wasn't boring, to be honest. I had played it a long time back and I know what it was. And the third, but not the least, would be the Women's Day special gesture from KTM to all the ladies. And with this, I end my report. And happy Women's Day in advance to all the ladies in the house. Over to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akash. Quickly, I will give an evaluation and specific points for all the role players. Toastmaster Oishika, the presentation that you had was superb at the end. It was a one-stop shop for all the timings specific and just saying that it passed or not. Also, what I liked about how you did the timer's role is that when the person was speaking, only when the green card came up, did you pull up the screen? Because usually what happens is the screen is pre-pulled up and the gray card is there, the focus goes on the cards rather than the speaker. So I liked how you waited until the green time came and then took the effort to pull up the screen. I noticed that you did that for all the sections. So thank you and a job well done. Toastmaster Ritika, your audio wasn't working in the beginning, but then you fixed it at the end. So thanks for making that change. Toastmaster Samriddhi, you did a great job and you pointed out the specific numbers of R's and other words that were also repeated. In the beginning, when you were introducing your role, I thought you could go a little slower. Maybe you were nervous, so you presented it very quickly, but you could be a little slower, but a job well done and a great report presented. Parliamentarian for the day, Toastmaster Deoshri, thanks for stepping up. Things are crazy with technology, and thanks for being somebody who just jumped in and took care of that role. And lastly, Toastmaster Akash, again, you used technology, you had everything written. So thank you. And also thank you for fixing your audio. Couple things. What you could do is maybe zoom up the text that you had written so that people could view it a little better since you were on Word. And another thing is that you got the Toastmaster of the day's name wrong. Toastmaster Deepak Bed, not Rahul Bed. Thank you, Toastmaster Akash. Before I hand over to the president, I have some feedback for myself that I noticed. So I think I could have done a better job by timing myself better. I was on the phone initially in the car. I wasn't driving, but I feel like I could have timed myself better and I got stuck with something. So that's a feedback for myself publicly in front of you all. I should have just been in a more stable position doing this role. That's it from my side. Overall, I think we made great use of technology with Zoom because we're all presenting reports very efficiently and working efficiently on it. I think overall it was a great meeting. Happy Women's Day to everybody in advance. Over to you, Madam President. That's all from my side. Toastmaster Mridula Sengupta.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Narayan. Can we have a round of applause for Toastmaster Narayan, all the speakers and all the role players? I would request everybody to kindly unmute yourself and applaud because it's the sound of applause which is like music to all your ears, right? Thank you so much. I can see some wonderful women present in the house, and before I speak to them, I would request the host to kindly share the voting link so that all the members and guests in the house can vote for the best speakers of the evening. I can see Toastmaster Ruchira, who has joined us after a really, really long time. And thank you, ma'am, for joining us. You have raised your hand. Would you like to share something?
I just want to quickly say thank you for all the love and appreciation given to me today. I'm very sorry I joined in late, and it's a huge motivation for me to be loved so much by the club. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ruchira, for joining us and for being there with KTM since its inception, I believe. And it's women leaders like you who inspire us to better ourselves every day. So thank you for joining us. And
Thank you
I
so much.
really hope to find you take up some roles or there'll be some speeches so that
Thank
we learn to
you.
know
I will.
more about you. Thank you so much, ma'am. We also have Toastmaster Vandana, who is one of the most veteran Toastmasters in KTM. Ma'am, we would really love to hear something from you.
What can I say? I've already thanked enough, and I can't thank. This is like not enough actually thanking, because this is something, the love and affection that we get from KTM is something which keeps us going, which keeps me glued to the club. Otherwise, it's very difficult to continue being in the club and yet not being in the club. And I think Ruchira understands it much better, because she's been doing this for a very long time, and I've been doing this for maybe 3 years. Ruchira has been doing this for 7-8 years. That she's always been a member, but she would never attend the meetings. And similarly, I've always been a member, but I don't attend the meetings very often. But it's the love from all of you, and the recognition itself is very important. There are times when I feel, why a Women's Day has to be celebrated? Why not a Human's Day? Because why should women think themselves of women? We are human first and then women later. So it's good to celebrate Women's Day, but I would again say that I would rather not want to celebrate a Women's Day. I would rather want to have a Human's Day. So thank you, everybody, on this note.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your views. And I really agree with you that I believe that each and every day is special. So just like I don't believe that Valentine's Day should be one particular day where we spread our love and we celebrate our love. It should be love for our members, love for our family, our KTM family, and our family, our friends, everybody. It should be celebrated every day. Similarly, we should celebrate the people around us, women and men alike, every day of the week. But Kolkata Toastmasters Club never loses an opportunity to celebrate their members, and what better opportunity to celebrate these women of steel in this special occasion. And that's why we wanted all of you to be here. Do we have Anju ma'am with us? She was facing some connectivity issues. I think she's not here. She had to drop out. But yes, we did have three women of steel with us, and one of the most what was it? One of the most veteran, three of the most veteran people, veteran Toastmasters who I look up to a lot because of how they lead themselves, how they lead others around themselves, how to balance everything in their life, their professional life, their personal life, and how they balance it so well. So it's really, really inspiring. Thank you so much, everybody, for being the guiding light for all of us. And I hope Rashmi, Ritika, Meghna, Anam, Oishika, Mehal, and everybody who has joined us today, Tanvi, all of you enjoyed the session because it's dedicated to each and every one of you. Now, without any further ado, I would request the host to share the results, and I hope all of you have voted. All right, so as I wait for the results, I would like to seek some guest feedback from all of you. So who would like to come up? Any guest? Mehal, would you like to share some feedback for us?
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I think I really loved this session, especially because it was a Women's Day session, the particular part where you made the presentation. And I have been attending the meeting last year. I couldn't do it through the lockdown, but to again attend it was really, really nice. Thank you, Midula, for inviting me for the meeting.
Thank you so much. It's so good to see you, Mehal. If only you could have switched on a video, we could have seen your smiling face, and that would have filled us with a lot of happiness. But no worries, next time, definitely. And we also have guest Dhruvik. So, guest Dhruvik, please share your feedback about the session.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So this is the second club which I am attending the sessions, and I really enjoyed the session. How amazing! How the amazing members which are in the club, and I look forward to attend more meetings of you, and look forward to join you as well. Thank you.
Dhruv, and we learned something from you. I hope you learned something from us today in the session. Thank you. So anybody else who would like to share your feedback? Shubhodeep, Anand, Rohit, Sathi, anybody? Yes, Anand has unmuted himself. Would you like to share
Hi
something?
everyone, I'm Anand Sanjeev Dugar, and what enthusiasm you guys have! Excellent. That is the biggest takeaway which I have right now, and also the learnings, the great insights, the
Anand, you are not audible.
Toastmaster, and thank you.
All right, Anand, thank you so much for sharing. We also have Yash, Sathi. Can I have your videos on, please, if it's not an issue? We would love to see you. Because if we would have met physically, when all of your videos would always be on, we would have be seeing all of your smiling faces. We have Yash. Yash, are you joining us for the first time?
Yeah, this is my first time. Hello, everyone. My name is Yash Rathi, and this is my first day. And Mridula ma'am being so generous, I just asked her, "Can I join?" And she said, "Yes, yes, please come in." And I love the session. You all are very good speakers. I learned a lot, and I'm looking forward to join Toastmasters as soon as possible. Thank you.
Great to have you here with us, Yash. And Sathi, since you have switched on your video, we would love to hear something from you. You are muted. You need to unmute yourself. All right, we'll get back to you later. Try to figure out how to unmute yourself. You'll be seeing a small button which says mute or unmute, which has a microphone icon at the left hand corner of your screen. But before that, let's move on to the best speakers for this evening. We had a lovely bunch, a great show, which was put up by our evaluator and the speaker for the evening. We also had lovely table topics which were shared by the very enthusiastic TTM Toastmaster Anirban. But let's have a look at who are the winners for this evening. So the best role player among the timer, R counter, wow counter, parliamentarian, and wow counter is, any guesses, guys? You can unmute yourself.
Timer.
Timer, tick tick 1, tick tick 2, tick tick 3. Yeah, that is correct. The best role player is Toastmaster Oishika, the timer for the evening. Great job done, Oishika.
Thank you. I'm elated today.
Wonderful. Now, the next award goes to the best role player among the Toastmaster of the day, the general evaluator, and the table topics master. Any guesses? Any guesses by anybody?
General evaluator, Toastmaster Naren.
All right. Anybody else? Come on, guys. Unmute yourself.
General evaluator.
Okay, so we have a couple of other votes as well.
Deepak Ved.
Deepak Ved. Okay, that's a Toastmaster of the day. Now, let me share. It was a very close call, but it is almost a tie. But one person put it a notch higher. Somebody who managed his time, but has also promised to manage his time better next time onwards. But we thank you for the wonderful and comprehensive feedback that you shared with all of us, in spite of all the obstacles that you had. So can we have a round of applause for our general evaluator for the evening, Toastmaster Meghna Agarwal. Great job done, Toastmaster Naren. Thank you for sharing the feedback. The best table topic speaker is Toastmaster Vandana Agarwal. Toastmaster Vandana, can we have a round of applause for Toastmaster Vandana? She is the nightingale of our club and one of those people who I respect a lot, because she's somebody who is soft spoken, who is always there for you, who is a great listener, and who has guided me a lot during some of my tough times. So thank you, ma'am, for being there for me, for KTM, and thank you for inspiring us every day. Thank you so much for joining us. Next up, we have the most improved speaker. Well, I would have loved to say that all the role players are women leaders, and yes, It has come true because the most improved speaker is none other than the speaker for the evening, Toastmaster Rashmi Agarwal. Can we have a round of applause for Toastmaster Rashmi? She started her journey in Toastmasters today, and I'm looking forward to all the wonders she does as a Toastmaster. So thank you everybody for joining us, and we hope to see all of you in the next session next week, 12th of March, 7 p.m. onwards. And before I sign off, I would like to say that the renewal window for Kolkata Toastmasters Club is open. Go and pledge. Take this pledge to success and to succeed. And how will you do that? By promising yourself the right to invest in your self-development, self-growth, and just try to strive for excellence. Go out, renew, and make a promise for the next 6 months. So thank you everybody for joining us, and hope to see you on the 12th of March. Same time, same place, but with a different Zoom ID. Thank you everybody. Good night. If anybody would like to stay back, please feel free to do so. Any of the guests, if you have any queries or you would like to have a chit chat. Rashmi, you did a great job today. I loved your speech.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I was quite nervous at the beginning, like beginning my journey after 2 years. But I feel overwhelmed by all the gestures. Thank you so much.
I think it's very difficult to share something which is very personal to you and something which is very close to your heart. And thank you for sharing that story with us. Thank you. It was really, really memorable. We have
Thank you
Akash,
so
we have
much.
Naren. Naren is saying something, but we cannot hear him because he's in
You
October.
can mute again.
You have muted yourself from your laptop. That's why we are not able to hear you.
You're not audible.
You're not audible. Try to rejoin if you want to. Oh, Ishika, such a wonderful presentation. How do you prepare this?
Yeah, I
So
totally loved
amazing.
it.
Yeah.
Thank you. By the
Just
way,
kidding.
Rashmi, you were really great, huh?
Thank you. But you made the timer rule much easier. Now people would come like voluntary to take the timer rule. Kudos to you.
Share your secret sauce. That is a secret presentation with everybody with the VP education.
There's no secret sauce. I can only make presentations, so I just stick them everywhere I go.
And the beautiful animations as well. I love the animations which you and Anam, always put in so much of thought and so much of effort into.
Yeah.
It's great. Anam, can we have you on the screen? You were explaining about lesser and lesser.
Anam just had a Shweta moment in the beginning where she forgot to mute herself.
Do we have you with us, Anam? Yes, there you are. You're sleeping or what?
No, I was working. I was downloading something. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Why are you sorry? Why?
No. Yeah, actually, I had no idea. I thought, I obviously muted myself and left. I don't know what happened. And then suddenly
explaining these to everyone. And thank God Deepak muted me before I said things which I shouldn't have said, like in any formal meeting.
Deepak explained stocks to us and Anam explained leasing to us. So we just go back to being better at finance.
We were in
You're not audible again, Naren.
Yeah, now
you are.
Yeah.
Oh, you can hear me now.
You were acting like Tushar Kapoor from Golmaal.
I wasn't acting like I had become that. That's how ho gaya. Dude, Deepak said, welcome general evaluator, and Anam starts speaking. I was like, oh, am I not the general evaluator?
Oh my God.
Cool. Good meeting, yeah. Good meeting. I mean, seriously, like, you guys put in so much effort for the roles, like, the timing, the timer, and like Anam, you guys are awesome. Like, see, I think that's like why we need women in the club. Akash, he put in effort, but he typed it up on Word. Zoom out. The women, they are made into presentations and like a whole gridded report.
That's why the decorations always go to the women.
Yeah.
for any function or party, anything.
So particular, like so
Such
well done, so well executed.
generalization.
So good. Shubhik, how did you like the meeting as a guest?
You're
Oh,
not
you're having
good.
the same issue as I
Yeah,
am.
it's just happening to everyone.
Am I audible now?
Yeah.
You are.
Perfect.
Saying that this is the second club which I have attending. So and I must say that you people are very enthusiastic, and matlab, it is matlab, the charm which you all have, and you all are interacting with each other as if you know as if it is a fireside chat, or like in a college canteen, and it feels like you all know each other from such a long time. And the topics, obviously the topics were great, they were amazing, but there's a spark in this club, like only thing like this, the timing of this club are a little मतलब थोड़ा सा मतलब ऑफिस के टाइम के इसे मतलब it clashes it,
Yeah.
but then I
Understand.
I need to figure it out how I would manage it, but I
You
really
need to stop working at 7 on Friday. That's what you need to figure out. Huh?
I stop working at 6:30 or 6:45.
Not everyone is that lucky.
Easier said than done. I mean, seriously. Yeah, we have to work on Saturdays
But if
and
you're working
Sundays
on Fridays
evening.
at 7, regardless of Toastmaster, you got to stop working, like,
Yeah,
regardless
sure.
of Toastmasters, you need to live. Like,
No, I actually want to figure how I would join this club, because I really love this club. I really like this club.
it's a different vibe.
completely-
It's a different culture,
Yeah,
man. It's a different vibe.
Yeah.
Dhruwik, I'd like to share a personal experience regarding this. When I was in Surat, so there the Toastmasters used to operate on Sunday morning. So being a college graduate, you can imagine that on a Sunday morning, who will go to a meeting? And that's what happened. Sunday mornings, we get up at 12 o'clock. The meeting started at 10 o'clock. I went for 2-3 meetings at the behest of a senior. But then after that, I said, ma'am, sorry, ab nahi ho payega, aur Sunday mujhe apne maze karne, please. So I think it's lucky that we have a meeting at least which we can attend. Otherwise, Saturday, Sunday, I hope hardly 50% will attend. This is what I believe.
And I think the vibe is all like so great because it's on a Friday evening. Everyone is in party zone. No? So
Correct.
It feels like a party is happening.
Yeah, it is actually like a Thursday nightclub session, something.
Experimenting with
Nightclub is a bit.
I'm trying to experiment with this ये क्या बोलते हैं, video filters here. I'm just trying to have a party
Oh,
background.
I've never tried it.
नया चालू हुआ
I
है?
wish
Anam had it when she was speaking.
Okay, wait. I forgot that the recording is on.
Please try it. There are so many things, yeah. There is
Let
some
me just
GIFs,
stop
some
the
videos.